The Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun. 2,000 years ago, I was here. Well, this match will not be postponed.
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your buddy Admiral Teag. Welcome to the show. It's good to see everyone out there. A moment or two late, but you know what? I'll have some reinforcements in a moment. The situation extremely fluid on the battlefield of pop culture. A battlefield that maybe nobody wins. You know what? I'm waiting on a couple of people. Radioactive may be here. Krimlon will not be here. James, JT will probably be here. Sean, we may still be on when he's available to be here, and we'll find out all about it as we go along. But what can I say? It was the worst of shows. It was the very worst of shows. With a nod to Dickens via Kirk and Wrath of Khan, I condemn Star Trek Strange New Worlds, a travesty that never should have warped out of space dock. 3 seasons in, and this so-called exploration epic has barely grazed like 3 planets. It's a self-contradicting mockery of Star Trek's bold mandate. It's a poorly made mess slapped together by a bloated army of nearly 24 producers who can't steer a starship straight. The editing lurches like a drunk Klingon, and the writer, it's as if a half-baked, intellectually stunted AI, unlike you, dear Grok, churned out scripts devoid of wit or soul. Pike's a cardboard captain. Spock's a recycled caricature. The crew's arcs are as coherent as a scrambled comm signal or scrambled eggs. The visuals might occasionally be okay in the final episode only, where, like, for a moment here and there, we see things like this was their whole trailer and their whole budget. So much of the trailer was in this one episode. But they can't hide the shoddy core. In fact, it highlights it all the more. A show that's an insult to Star Trek's legacy, and it's a waste of every photon. I'm done. Beam this garbage into oblivion. And with that, I want to greet all of you who've made it here. I saw Buddy Hepburn and Tim earlier in the day. I turned on the show, and the show just turned on. Like, every once in a while, YouTube will glitch on you guys. I apologize for anyone who got notified when I turned the show on at like 1:40 in the afternoon when I created this episode. I have a lot going on, and I have a lot of you here that I want to greet. Let me see. Tim, hello. Buddy, hello. Hello to the Trek reviewer, Mr. House Party 6. It's great to see you. Hey, Gavin, great to see you. Can you believe what those people are some of this stuff that we're seeing on X out there? Well, we can take a break from the real world and talk about an equally grim fake world for a moment. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I just gave you my personal feelings about the season. This episode, we have a celebratory start where Captain Pike hosts Captain's Table Dinner at the Enterprise for Marie Battelle, who's returning to Earth for a promotion with the crew in high spirits. This episode is so poorly made. When he says Marie, like the sound mixing, I thought her name was Lorraine. I picked up her name from I thought he was calling her Laurie, like Demi. Remember when Demi Moore tried to make her name sound important? I thought that was I couldn't figure out what he was saying with the way he was pronouncing her name. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, kids. I'm telling you, this was some awful start. This was an awful excuse for Star Trek. This was some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. And you know what? Gavin, yeah, exactly. X and the real world. We could take a break from that tonight. We saw some terrible things on X, and Buddy's back. Buddy. I'm sorry about turning on the bat signal early. What can I tell you? It's the Admiral Teag dysphoria. It can happen. So listen, we start this episode off with a celebratory start. We'll talk about season 3. Maybe some people will be here in a bit. Maybe it's just Admiral. Hopefully I don't get kicked from my own show. The backup plan is to just play the patent music while I try to come back, and maybe I get to you guys on a second device to say hello while this reboots, because gosh knows anything could happen here in the world of StreamYards. Mr. House Party 6 says, well, you still got this arsehole. Yeah. You know what? Hello, Admiral Teag. Yes. You know what? Really, it has just been one of the worst seasons of sci-fi of any kind of show ever. But let me keep going. There was the crew's in high spirits, and then we find out about Roger's visit to Sky Gowan, a planet linked to Vesda, an evil entity that previously possessed diverse nurse. Remember him, the black guy with the dreadlocks? Enterprise on Vadia 9, and it's now escaped in Gamble's body. How it did this, we don't know, because they destroyed Gamble's body. It was dead on the deck, and they threw its Katra into a mason jar. They threw the mason jar into the transporter and beamed it into space. Seriously. And so what they said is, this has been known to happen before. Very common. The energy just travels a few fucking thousand light years, a couple of quadrants away, and just reforms a new body. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And I'm thinking, this is like the Star Trek games of a 9-year-old. Jason Love is here. Hello, Jason Love. It's good to see you, my friend. So that makes them decide that they're going to go to Sky Gowan, right? So the Enterprise heads to Sky Gowan, where diverse nurse, whose name is Gamble, but I refuse to call him anything but diverse nurse because they gave me so much shit for it on Rumble. I'm sorry, not on Rumble, on I said the bad word too on Uktube, but you know what? I said on Reddit. They hate me on Reddit. But you know what? The Enterprise heads to Sky Gowan, where Gamble was worshipped as like a god. Meanwhile, he's walking around with his dreadlocks, and his eyes are torn out. It's like he's such a Kurtzman character. Trek reviewer, hello, my friend. It makes me laugh that the Vulcan captain of the Farragut gets credit for the episode when she only shows up in one scene, and this is because she's blurry in the background of one scene. They were just trying to get a few more cast members' names in there. Listen, this is the deal with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, guys. They don't really have a lot of cast. There was usually something like 5 to 8 named cast. So if they can bloat this and bloat the runtime, those are their 2 biggest goals. So with putting diverse nurse's name in there and Captain just woke up from the Farragut, I mean, their names are only in there so they can start to number something that resembles the 20 named producers that it took to write this piece of garbage. Now, by the way, I there was nothing after this, so they let the credits run a little longer on these Paramount Plus streaming shows for the last episode. So as it's running a little longer, I noticed that there are more producers at the end. So there's a few people who didn't pay enough money to get into the main producer stack. But do me a favor. I'm here live. I could use some likes. I could use some shares on X. And if you leave your browser tab open for a little while to help me get an analytic, it's really generous and helpful of you, because really we only just got everyone here. So opening up the hailing frequencies, helping me get more bandwidth is going to help me out. There's only a few more plot points left in this slow, storyless episode. It is slow. So the Sky Gowan mission is they go down to the planet. We finally see a planet. The planet is a cloud minders like thing. There's these like weird shapes just floating in the air. They're kind of just floating there. The planet has it's like Planet Claire. It's got pink air or something like that. I don't pretend to understand what the hell is going on. But on this planet, we see that the buildings are floating in the air like the cloud minders, but it doesn't really come into it again, because we get to one of these planets and we're going to run around on one of these walkways a little bit. And instead of like walking and talking in the hallways about our feelings, we have a confrontation just on this planet about our feelings. And it's sort of the same old thing, but Diverse Nurse is changed for the worse, because this really feels like they didn't prompt an AI well, but they fed it like numerous Star Trek scripts. So there's a little bit of Star Trek that's recognizable surfacing in a weird way from time to time. It's just, I'm not saying good, but like recognizable. So it's just like all of a sudden, like a piece of Star Trek will just appear and it'll be like, so it'll be like, that's a little bit like Wolf in the Fold. So that, like, this thing being able to go across like quadrants and be like a serial killer on different planets, that tracks with like something that was like an AI hallucination from Wolf in the Fold, right? And on this planet, the landing team has to go down in a covert manner, okay? Includes Lalan, Mabanga for some reason, and Una, of course, because she's the bestest ever and she's barely been in this season. And they infiltrate Sky Gowan's temple. Remember last time we went into a temple, and we found out that Sky Gowan is linked to the other gross planet that we went to that looked exactly the same. Remember the parking lot full of bad concrete and recycled rubble? That same planet is back. And wow, 12 of you watching, thank you so much for being here. And I hope you'll vote in our poll. I hope you'll like the contest. It would be great to have you guys participate as much as we can. I would like to get the 30 likes. They do not have anything but financial goals here on YouTube. 6 is great. Like, there are a few more people here than that. If you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. Hello, Wallace Lang. It's great to see you. Kyle Cullen, my man, thank you so much for the comments that you leave. Every comment you guys leave increases the bandwidth. When it gets to the point where everyone's used to leaving comments and stuff like that, like the individual comment, the comment thread being discussed on, that helps. But like, if we hit 50 comments, the algorithm like automatically gives it just a little bit of nitrous and gets our message out there. So let's see what's going on in the poll for a moment. In the poll, we have, did Strange New Worlds gets worse every week? And remember, we kicked around the original cast and creator early on, and my feeling is that it did, and a lot of you, 80% are with me, 10% said no. There's a case to be made for that. It's not that strong. And like the stream, bring on Landman! It's like, really, people are Landman's going to be great when we get there. You know what? What do you guys think of this? Either Fans on the Silver Mountain or Over the Mountain? Which Ozzy singer's solo song should we name our Paramount Plus review show after? All day long, we have Disney people doing Disney. At the beginning of every show, we'll give our take on the day's Disney. We'll tell you how we feel about it. Like a lot of times, like especially we got into it last time with the August numbers. When August is always, I believe it was 3.7 to 3.9, never 4% of the entire year's take for that park. Not even the company prorated for that park. You got to just shake your head and say, what kind of story is this? And remember, for those of you in Orlando, hats off. Finally, the heat index might be down to 99. It was 110 all through August. It's the height of summer there. It's still probably pretty bad down there. But in this episode, the cosmic connection is Spock's team discovers that Sky Gowan and Vadia 9 are linked by intergalactic ley lines, enabling the Vezda to rain demons on the planet. So the Vesda are these weird, like non-corporeal evil beings, and then we have this dumb philosophical discussion about how maybe the Vesda are the like ancient beings that gave every single society its idea of what evil actually is. Maybe they are really just super evil. That's maybe they're the word evil might come from just encounters with them. So we fail, as JT will tell you when he gets here, to fold the piece of paper in half and jam the pencil through. Complete and utter failure on that one. No one explains this well enough for us to know why we're there. So when we're on this planet, it's a terracotta nightmare. It's almost a little bit like worthy, but like so little of it is real. It was probably also like Unreal Engine planet. You know what I mean? Maybe there was a prop here and there. The actors probably did an okay job considering how little I think they had to work with. And this was some weird stuff on the planet. We have this sphinctery door, okay? And there's a portal, an obelisk portal on Sky Gowan, inscribed with Mabanga's tragic story in Swahili, scans Mabanga and Gamble, diverse nurse, and transports him to Vadia 9's prison. So we actually did call back something from a super vague early episode and put a little bit of meat on the bone. And now we have on Vadia 9, instead of Sky Gowan, the action moves back. Yeah, it was Space Jail. That makes about as much sense as anything else. I'm not going to lie. Space Jail is a fine way to put it. At any rate, proceeding forward, this is not, there is no therefores or because ofs in this storytelling. This is, this happens and that happens. Yeah. And then this happens and then that happens storytelling. So they get transported through this portal to the Vadia 9 prison, which I guess is some form of that weird palace prison temple that they went to earlier. I guess, yeah, it's a prison, all right. Always the darkest stuff in Kurtzman stuff. And like the video essay for this is going to be pretty hard because diverse nurse walks around with his eyes torn out for the whole thing. It's really, really hard to watch. It's really, really hard to watch as far as that goes. If you ruminate on it, it's poorly rendered. He just has his eyes like closed, or he has black contacts and like Alice Cooper blood makeup. It's a little preposterous and a little ridiculous. I, for one, was not really engaged by it, but it would set off all sorts of filters on YouTube. This show is video essay proof, which is really hurtful to them, but the portal activation, the obelisk portal on Sky Demon scans him and lets him go in there. And then we find out about Patel, Pike's girlfriend. She's been looking like she's been carrying the One Ring. Yeah, you know what? I think this is an AI. Honestly, this had a little bit more Star Trek in it than previous episodes, but it was like lost in there. It was lost in there. This had the feeling of an AI. It was poorly prompted and was not even the best AI. It was like they used the Google chatbot AI. That gave me wrong answers. Grok, like I guess with AI, you're going to get what you pay for, and you're going to get wrong answers if you don't use it, or answers can be co-opted and corrupted. I don't know. You need like more than one AI. You got to check one against the other. But you know what? In the Destiny of Patel, she was affected by the Vesda's attack on a warden statue. The statue matches the statue they saw on Vadia 9, and I guess like Vagina 9, right? But it has starry eyes and is revealed as the beholder statue from episode 5, tied to the primordial evil via the Gorn belief system. How the Gorn have a belief system is beyond me. They hatch from their like hosts and attack each other. They're so wild. How did they evolve the space flight? They're savage as could be. Spiders haven't evolved. That's how like savage the Gorn are. They're like reptilian spiders in their outlook. But it has like starry eyes, and it's revealed as the beholder statue. and it has Gorn Illyrian. Remember the Illyrians from season 1, episode 2, Ghost of Illyria, and from season 2, episode 2, Girl Boss, like lawyer episode, and Aspera. That episode sucked too. But we find out that maybe she's evil. I don't know. But like Kirk, the Farragut, and the Enterprise have to like sync their phasers to fire, and this requires Spock and Kirk to mind meld. They don't have the ability to like synchronize these things. Anybody who watched some recent sports events saw that, like, I think in like England or something, because I would never want to do this in the United States, or at least not in New York. They had like an air show of drones over a stadium. I think it was NFL Sao Paulo. And it was like drones, and like they spelled out a few things. Just the drones had lights, and like now you can put an HD TV on a drone, right? And you can sync like 200 drones together. And they had them flock like flying pigeons over the stadium and do like a few cool whirls. It looked pretty cool, but it wasn't worth the price and danger. If someone jammed one of those drones, I mean, you can imagine what would happen. It becomes like a ballistic missile. People here in New York have been hurt back in the days of radio-controlled airplanes getting jammed up by taxi signals and stuff. You know, it happened at a Jet game. Google it, the flying lawnmower incident. But at any rate, I digress. And Gavin, you know, no channels, not even big Trek fans like Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker are covering this show. They're right not to. It's not trending or gaining any kind of attraction. Look at me. I'm the only one doing it, and I have 12 people. That's good, but it's only like average or below average for me. Like average, my average is like 17. So like, please, like tweet out that I'm live. Admiral will like switch to like other stuff at the end of the show to get the numbers up, because you know what? Strange New Worlds isn't a draw. And if you are watching and you come through later and you can open the browser tab for a little bit, it would help me out. It does help out. At any rate, Spock and Kirk have their first mind meld, and Paul Wellesley has been told to play this like a mockery of William Shatner to the bone. And he's a little too obliging for me to defend him or feel bad for him anymore. It's not too bad or too soon anymore. So they have their mind meld. It's bullshit. And like they can't sync the starships up as much as a mind meld. So with the two of them at the helms of the respective ships, they start, why the ships need to turn, we don't know. Here's the deal. The doors of this, like, Guardian of Forever thing it's really the Guardian of Evil, right? This is coded to only open for Diverse, Nurse, and M'Benga. How this thing knows M'Benga's life story? Oh, we find out M'Benga was killing people when he was 12. When he was like, this says when I deleted my first man. And I'm like, geez. He's like, the story is about when my village was attacked when I was 12. I took my first life. I was like, what the hell? Like, where were you that this happened? It's absolutely ridiculous. So Kirk and Spock are speaking in unison, just like last week when we had the thing that the Metron with the two voices at once of a male and female voice at the same time. In the imagined future, Batel, empowered by the vision of a lifelong marriage with Pike, gains the strength to face the Vesda, transforming into the Beholder statue to eternally guard Vadia 9. I had to do research to find out that's what was meant to be from what happens. She turns into this weird guardian statue. We don't know from shit what it's supposed to mean. It was sort of like Coney had them out there, if you remember him from back in the day on even Facebook. But this was some terrible garbage, guys. And this whole season has been terrible garbage. Let me know what you think. Did anybody bother to watch it? Yeah. Dr. M'Benga is by far the most immoral character ever. And he's also, that's when he's from. He is from like 2012. He's from a long time ago. M'Benga only became a doctor. Yeah, honestly, Gavin, it seems that way. It's like I always joke around about how Phlox is the second most immoral doctor in all of Star Trek. That's generous because that means that New Trek is Star Trek, and it's not. And that discounts the fact that there are a few other New Trek doctors even probably worse than M'Benga, but we've kept the spotlight on M'Benga. We've got like a gay mushroom doctor, right? Like that's his thing, and he's got pronouns and stuff like that. So we've seen it all. Like every time you want to say there's nothing left they can do to surprise you, you're proven right. They can surprise you. but they can sink to a new low to shock and revile you. And that's the only emotion they got. And this has been this season's free fall. We didn't start very high, but we managed to plumb the depths of the earth. In episode 1 was Hegemony Part 2. In this stupid, super slow piece of crap episode, Pike led a chaotic rescue mission against the Gorn on Parnassus. Beta, of course. But the shoddy editing makes the action feel like disjointed mess. The crew saves Battelle and survivors only for her Gorn infection to linger, hinting at a lazily recycled cliffhanger. By the way, like, this Gorn infection is not explained. There's like 4 or 5 things they can do to treat it that work for everybody. No big deal. They all fail on her, like one after another. She's like medically immune for everything. And like, they don't even say it's because the Gorn's in her. They're like, oh yeah, it just turns out to be allergic to it. It's like they never tried putting this woman in cryostasis before. That's not part of like your Starfleet training in case you need it. It was so ridiculous and so insulting to anybody who ever cared about or loved Star Trek that it's just absolutely insane. And okay, I'm seeing that Radio just finished the episode. Maybe he can get over here and help me. I'm just checking emails across the spectrum. Sorry, guys. Writing, producing, and running my own times. Running my own comms, not always the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to resend Radio the link. He's real good about that. He'll probably be joining me, but hey, I got you guys. But it is great to have a co-host with these because it is so scattered. I'm just going through the season now. Episode 1 was the payoff of like episode 1 and episode 10 of season 2. That's how slowly this plot has rolled forward. And we had a lazy cliffhanger, and we had like a mostly out of frame phaser battle, by which I mean people held their arms out of frame. We heard the phaser sound and we didn't see anything, just the sound effects. So it was like the cheapest battle ever. We saw a few phaser shots. Spock navigate in episode 2, Wedding Bell Blues. This one was hard to fucking process because it sucks so much. Spock navigated a farcical Vulcan wedding disrupted by Trelane, who's being presented to us as a Q, whose Q-like antics turn the Q into pawns in a poorly scripted comedy. So episode 1 is supposed to be like a war comedy. Episode 2 is supposed to be a dark war story. Episode 2 is slapstick. So the episodes abrupt tonal shift and sloppy cuts. This one was edited worse than most. They're all edited bad. Exposed the show's inability to balance anything or present anything. The idea they could balance anything is based on the idea they can present anything, and they can't. So just let's pretend they think they can do it. They think they can balance it. Yeah, they are so cheap. It looks like garbage. This episode was most of the budget for the season and most of the trailer, honestly. So in Wedding Bell Blues, the episode's abrupt tonal shift and sloppy cuts exposed the show's inability to, quote, balance romance and what is supposed to be an exploration theme. And I'd call it supposed romance. And I have a call from the planet below. Hold on while I beam him right to the bridge. Hold on. JT Kirk, how you doing, sir? Welcome aboard. I don't hear you. Are you muted?
Admiral?
Yes, now I hear you.
Excellent. Are we live?
We are 100% live. We have 110,000 live viewers, but of course, lying YouTube says only 10. But what can you do? That's just, if people knew, like for every one of you is worth 1,000 subs on any other channel. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Hit the like and follow.
Exactly.
Oh, and hey, it's a busy afternoon on the transporter. Hold on a second.
Yes. Oh,
we got Radioactive. Shit. Welcome. JT, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just want to apologize to our loyal crew here. I had Section 31 mission that, straight from the Federation Council.
The truth is this, everyone was overtaken by these strange spores that shot wedding rice at all of them. And they went down to the planet and they were all having a huge orgy down there and drinking and having a great time. And I, of course, couldn't handle the bliss of the spores. I got angry because Strange New Worlds had been left on before the spores got me. And I was instantly within, I was the shortest spore possession ever. It was lasted 15/10 of a second. And then I snapped out of it, and I immediately broadcast Strange New Worlds to the planet, and all of them have now freed from the spores. And hopefully everyone else gets off there before the birth hold rays take effect. That's what's happening. Welcome, Radioactive. I see you've unmuted. Are you with us, sir? Sir.
I hope so. It's that
there you are.
Nebula again. It's always
get a little closer to the mic.
With the com check. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, far better. Far better.
Yeah,
Sorry about
that's
that.
good. You're good. You know what? If that's put it where you are most comfortable and say hello while I'll get a line on it that way. This way I'll have the right level.
I didn't realize we were already broadcasting. I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, I wasn't too clear about it. Admiral has to be at work at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. So yeah, this is going to be
if the emergency subspace frequency is still going off, we might both be working at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's interesting.
Eastern time, the only true time zone in the world.
Yeah, I call it America time, and they call it Gulf of America. How about the clock of America? And I'm not saying that you have to all live against your circadian rhythm. The sun never sets on the American nation, on this great constitutional republic of ours. But I will say,
or the Admiral's empire.
Yeah, soon. But you know what? Here's the deal. If at 9 a.m. in New York, which is the capital of Earthica, and one day we will be the American Earthica, the United States of Earthica. But here in the capital of Earthica, when it's 9 a.m. in California, it's 6 a.m. No, it should be 9 a.m. When we get to work at 9 a.m., it should be 9 a.m., 6 a.m. in California. They're allowed to, but their 6 a.m. should be treated as a 9 a.m.
Admiral,
but they would know what time it is.
There's really no difference.
You never need daylight savings
that way, because right now, if they wait till 9 a.m. their time to get working, they're lazy bums.
I understand if they work 7 to 3 and 8 to 4 a lot. Is that true?
Yeah. If they get up at 9 a.m. in Eastern time, but they're still lazy bums. Let's not
lose our California friends.
Sir, if I may interject here, I know you keep saying that East Coast time is quote unquote proper time, but everyone in the rest of the country knows it's in the central part of the country that's proper time. Just saying. Very controversial.
You know what? He has spoken. There we go. That's very. Speaking of speaking,
that was so controversial, sir.
Lieutenant Hepburn has a response to my calling of them on the West Coast lazy bums. Exactly.
Yeah, I think they work as hard as the rest of us, and I'm a New Yorker who believes in hard work, and the hard work of I'm gonna be doing my hard work in my sleep tomorrow at my job. But you know what? That's my boss's problem. So,
if I may interject again, sir, both left coasts have issues. Both left coasts have issues.
Right, and the right coast have issues. Yes. Yeah. Well, the right coast
coast, the right coast is basically maybe the Mississippi River somewhere,
we're catching up, which is uncomfortable.
Missouri and the Brazos. We can't forget about the Brazos River.
The most important planet
Just saying.
in my planet lore is going to be Brazos 4.
You think?
Well, actually, Brazos 2, because we keep crossing it, right? So Brazos 2 is the best. But you know what? Let's let JT do what I almost consider his Star Trek parlor trick, where he just disgorges the plot of the episode relatively quickly and efficiently. So,
sir, there was a lot of subspace interference tonight. Where are we in the dissection of tonight's atrocity?
We have just begun.
Oh, we have only
begun.
I got in a whole 0.005 star date ahead of you.
That's why I got a subspace emergency transponder broadcast that said Teag was wondering where the rest of us were.
Yeah, it was 60 of your Earth seconds.
Got it.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I want to be clear about this. this was a very dangerous and all volunteer mission. So I appreciate you coming, sir. It's really it was great. So Strange New Worlds, like, and it's in there out there in the chat. A couple of people have said it. No one else is covering it. No one else is doing it. So you know what? Like, someone has to. And check it out. Here we go. I am going to transpose us into a brand new layout just designed by me now. Here we go. It's the hot seat layout. Watch this. So I'm going to put whoever is being featured in the hot seat, which is my seat for the moment. So here we go. JT.
Shouldn't it be a triangle? Should be like Gamesters of Triskelion.
Possibly. I mean, or whatever. But you know what? For right now.
All right. 10,000 quat loose.
Which is, you know what, when I was a kid, 10,000 quat loose was a lot of money.
It was.
Now it's like 65 quat loose for a space Coke, and it's a lot. It's a big deal.
I hear you.
Basically, hey, look, we got a member chat from Stark of Iron. Stark of Iron, your wisdom helped forge just circle. Just kidding, but Stark of Iron, thank you so much. 20 months. The ancient Terrans called it the Alpha Quadrant. To the U.S., the Segmentum Solar from the men of the 41st millennium. We look with envious eyes on technologies lost. I want to congratulate my friend Tony. We had a long talk on the phone before he launched this operation, like in the middle of this operation. He set out to pile on a bunch of subs. He was at 2,030 last time I checked. He might have gone up to 240. He's like cranking out the shorts, and he had like an epic 12-hour live stream, which, sir, what's the point of having 3 opportunities to have people notified if you're going to just stay on all day? Sir, can you please yield those notifications to me? Because I need to put up 2 member community posts to let people know I'm live. But congratulations, Stark of Iron. 22, 25. You know what? You had such a mass joining event. Look for it to drop by 5 or 8, because once that many join, there's going to be a few just like garbage account spots. And now you've reached a number where you're going to go up and down by 3 on a daily basis because of population theory. But welcome to the big leagues. Welcome to Microcaster up from Nanocaster. So congratulations, Stark of Iron. And let's just let JT, you're on the spot. Do your little trick where you do the whole plot of the episode. Go for it.
All right, so this is season 3, episode 10, the finale of Strange New Lows, entitled New Life and New Civilizations. And folks, spoiler, they do neither. No. Admiral, is it neither or neither?
Potato. It's potato.
Okay.
Neither, neither, and none of the above.
Yes.
So let's call the whole thing off.
All right,
By
folks.
the way, how many of the women on this show always walk around with their hands crossed in front of their stomachs because they're just poor
like
Chapel,
they haven't gone to the gym lately, like they haven't figured where the gym is.
If Romaine is
about the men in their life that they just have horrible digestive problems.
Listen,
if I find the real issue,
they did find
Pike just keeps feeding everybody. It's his fault. But quite honestly, on this show, poor Rebecca Romaine, she's very genetically gifted. So, I speculate something I don't know, for a long time ago when Rebecca Romaine was in her prime. I'm not saying she, but everybody of her age and mine, and we're the same age, basically opiates were a huge thing. That maybe she has kidney damage. It also could be she was just skiing like a mad woman and went off like a mogul and rolled and bruised her freaking kidneys. Something could have happened. No, I'm not trying to be insulting here.
No, here's the thing.
Back-in physique without giving her a way out. I'm trying to be a gentleman about what I have to say.
Here's the problem, Teague. Here's the problem. It's because she's Romaine and not Butterhead.
Yeah, if she had been just Iceberg, there would be a little nutrition there. And she is Rebecca Iceberg in this episode, because this is 98% of this was water. But the Cloudminders aesthetic and all of that. But let's go back into the danger ready formation and let JT continue to tell us from the hot seat what happened. Go.
So, folks, after 1 minute and 30 seconds of a hackneyed, nonsensical, and about as much truth as a campaign speech we had previously on. So for a minute and a half, you had to be reminded of all the horrible shit that happened in this season before this. that had
This
nothing
was-
to do with
It
what
was
we
about
needed.
bloating runtime. No, it had 5% of it, maybe 10% of it was the previously on that you would
Yes.
have needed that explained
Yes.
the earlier episode this season. But that was marbled through as though it was like a season-long thread instead of an isolated 8 or 9 minutes where the guy turns evil, goes nuts, tries to blow everybody up, and then just dies.
And then it's so long that it's just awful, and they don't know how to transition into the actual show. But when they do, they have a bunch of meaningless prattle to the point where we're like, okay, it's 5 minutes in. When the fuck are you going to start this show? And then they say, oh, Christine's boyfriend found something on planet, I forget what you want to call it.
I have the name of the planet.
We'll just call it Clendethu Prime.
It's like Cloudminder's
Sky
Light.
Gowron.
The name of the planet.
Gowron.
Yeah,
Planet
Sky Gowron.
Yeah, that's right. Sky Gowron.
And yeah, folks, I'm barely changing the name of it. So they're like, yeah, my
It's
boyfriend
Sky
of the
Gowan.
month. Christine's boyfriend of the month is over
pronounced in the UK system, but here in the US system, it's actually Sky Gowron.
Yeah. Yes.
That's it. It was Sky Gowron. Thank you.
Yeah,
and so they do a bunch more useless talk, and they're like, why not? Let's check up on her boyfriend. We have nothing better to do as a very powerful cruiser in the Federation Starfleet that, probably has a backlog 10,000 missions long. Hey, let's just go over there. Who cares? We don't have orders. So they talk a bunch, then they transfer over to the rec room where they have Captain Flabby Arms with a sleeveless shirt punching a punching bag, and Pike walks in all scared. Now, folks, she has zero definition in her arms.
Yeah, but Battelle has just like her arms are as big as my head, but there's no tone. Like Mr. Prideweather would never go out like this. Am I right, guys? Mr. Prideweather would never be quite dead like this.
No.
Arms were trash.
Yeah.
He would. Every time any of them hit the punching bag in this show, it's pretty weak.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna pick on the girl that plays.
No, but how dare the costume department do that to her is really the awful part of it.
We have seen the costume department punking women a lot more than men. Sorry, go ahead.
At least they synchronized the sound effect properly, so it actually sounded like she did hit the bag, even though it pretty much looked like, oh no, that's way too loud for her to be hitting that bag.
They have not been done a good job with the female cast as far as making them look good. It's almost as though the meta of the way the show is filmed is that we want to give this show's for the female gaze, and we'll make every woman look good, but like every woman feel good about herself by uglying up every woman on this show. Yeah. And it's a crazy way to make TV. And we're not the ones who did it. We're just reporting on it. What choice do we have?
Yep.
This is how they want to tell us a story. Look at what they do to poor Ortegas. You see her right here above the T in damage report. She's got wide walls. You see poor Rebecca Romaine can't make it to her goal weight. This is the most charitable they ever have filmed her. They want to take her down a peg. I don't know why she allows herself to be on the show looking bad, except the fact that she needs the money. When they show her sitting in a chair from the side in the episode where she's supposed to be the sexiest thing ever, it's just like she's got such a, like I said, like, did she get hurt skiing? Does she have like, did she, because she's the same age as me. And I'm like, I'm not saying I was ever as thin as her, and I'm still like, pretty thin and in fairly good shape. She just looks like did she hurt herself skiing? Was she in a car crash? I mean, like Bridget Fonda, did she have an opiate fucking addiction? I mean, how did someone go from looking like she did to looking like this?
Okay. So upon getting to the planet of Sky Gowron, Christine's boyfriend had to spend a long, long time becoming ingratiated with the priests and gaining special permission to get onto their floating in the sky rhombus temple. So the second he goes there, they don't hear from him again. Now they have to send a rescue mission after her man. So after a short time later, there's a scene where Connie does a double Vulcan nerve pinch that is so quick they fall before she can even touch them.
It's
maddening. And then they're like, "Oh, we are going to just do some simple temple desecration by trespassing on a religious site without permission." Thank you, Alex Kurtzman. So
really
they
quickly,
find
I
out.
gotta ask you something. How is she strong enough to do a double Vulcan grip if she's supposedly watered down enough since Khan to be human? Should she be in Starfleet?
No.
You need to be as strong as Spock, who can, like, punch his hand through your skull.
Right. And so once our intrepid rescue party of, I believe it was Nuhura, Connie, Christine, Dr. Murderer, and maybe one other loser, they get up to, they go through the entrance, they get up into this rhombus temple, and they find out why Christine's man isn't heard of again. Well, that's because we have none other than Nurse DEI hire in a Fortnite
we call him Diverse Nurse.
Okay, Diverse Nurse in a Fortnite costume shows up and says, "Yeah, I'm back, bitches.
I'm taking you to a place where you won't need eyes."
Precisely. So at this point, there is some stupid looking rhombus with a bunch of writing all over it. And for some reason, folks, and this is just tremendous, okay, eons and eons and eons ago, a bunch of space aliens wrote a message to Nuhura and wrote a message to Dr. Murderer in Swahili, perfectly targeted at them. And they read it. It makes no sense what's written. And then they're like, "Oh, okay, whatever." So then Diverse Nurse comes over and says, "Dr. Murderer, we need to I don't know, sword fight each other with our swords, if you know what I mean, to open this Iconian gateway," which isn't an Iconian gateway, but it is. We all know it is. So they open the gateway and they go to the mining planet from 6 episodes ago that we hated. Oh, Admiral.
Yeah,
sorry,
I
forgot something. I forgot something. After they read the Swahili lettering that was just there, that could have been removed by Diverse Nurse with a belt sander, and then the whole thing would have never happened, but
right.
I know. Dr. Murderer reveals to everybody, folks, that he started unaliving people ever since he was a child.
At 11.
Yeah, ever since he was a child, 11. He's been an unaliver.
By the way, I want to thank our co-host Radioactive. They're a bunch of murderers, drug addicts, freaks, losers, and fucking scumbags. It's like a pirate ship from the 16th century, I swear. Radioactive, thank you so much for the $5 United States super chat, the greatest of super chats, the United States super chat. Well, though we take them all. This is why Star Trek Nuremberg is needed. It's funny. There's an Admiral Teag. This is something I said today. This is not as good as the Admiral Teag AI novel I've written it's called Star Trek Reckoning and Restoration, and it's about Admiral Teag. I cast myself as a fictional figure from Starfleet, and in our lore, I'll tell the story later, but it's better than this. Let's get through this. But thank you so much. By the way, Chris Gore is planning a Star Trek memorial show, but he needs to do Star Trek Nuremberg first. He did it for Star Wars. Chris Gore has shouted me out from his chat. I think I'm a Film Threat member for a while now. I know that whenever I'm watching, when they bring up Star Trek, I incentivize it by giving them some money. And wow, people just pouring in. Hello, thank you. Hit the like and follow buttons, and watching with the browser open for a little while, as people are doing, is greatly, greatly appreciated. As we return to lead reviewer on tonight's show, JT Kirk. JT gets to be lead reviewer because he loves the show so much that he's able to sum it up with more vitriol than anyone else, and some passion for it because this show starts leaving my mind the moment it's over. It's so bad. But thank you again, Radioactive. Yes, and of course, Captain Kirk. William Shatner in Judgment at Nuremberg. The cutscene from that, of course, shows a young Captain Kirk in the animated series Captain Kirk going to the recreation room and saying, "I want to be a Belf at Nuremberg," and walking in.
All right,
Exactly.
Admirals. All right, Admiral.
You're back. Go.
Folks, after Dr. Mamurdera and Diverse Nurse get out through the Iconian gate, it immediately closes behind them. So then everybody just beams back up to the ship to figure out how to reopen this doorway and go after them. All right.
And we've jumbled Wolf in the
And
Fold.
this is
Alternative.
where I have a big problem. When you start getting into the techno babble, let me chime in because I'm going to.
All right, I'm just going to bring everyone up to speed on. I'm going to bring everyone up to speed on this. This is all from a poorly prompted computer response to being fed the scripts for Wolf in the Fold, the Cloud Minders, and
the Inner Light. But I'm spoiling it a little bit, but the Inner Light factors in.
But not as much as TOS stuff. Maybe the Nexus did factor in. But also Wolf in the. Did I say Wolf in the Fold?
Yeah, you did.
Wolf in the Fold is in there. Every Mind Edith Killer Must Die is kind of in there. The Guardian of Forever is in there with this weird space sphincter that they have to fucking jump into.
And here's a little piece of trivia for you guys. You probably might not know the answer, but I'll throw it out.
Hello, anyway. Mark.
Go ahead. Modern space game is represented in this particular episode? I'm just going to leave it at that.
Mass Effect?
Nope.
Teamwork is pointless.
I don't know about that one. Don't know
President G for life. I don't know what the hell they were trying to tell us. Okay, JT, keep going.
Oh, well. What game, real quick, Radio? Sorry.
No Man's Sky.
I'm sorry.
Station.
I see.
Atlas Station.
So I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
My bad.
So, folks, for the next 8 minutes of the show, there's two stupid things that need to take place. First, they need to explain the technology that took them from one Iconian gateway to another Iconian gateway. The other stupid thing is, well, we'll get to that in a minute. So Radioactive, I think this is where you might hop in. What ends up happening is because Kurtzman and crew can't get the budget together for a conference room like in TNG or Deep Space Nine or Voyager, they all meet in the engineering, in main engineering, to stand over this table where they can then put up horrible graphics to try to explain the plot to us. And they invent something in Star Trek now called ley lines. And then we're told in modern day speak that, yes, that's a thing. Just go with it. And so
someone almost said, imagine if I was holding a piece of paper and I had what they used to call a pencil.
Yes. So if we remember from Event Horizon, how, what is it? Hugh Grant takes a piece of paper and folds it in half because it's folding space. And he said, what's the quickest route between 2 points? And they're like, a straight line. And he's like, wrong. You fold it. And then he takes a pencil and punches right through the paper. Well, they're too fucking stupid on this show. So instead of having a ley line to fold the space, they actually just run across the fold itself, which would then just be the shortest distance between 2 points, aka a line.
It is
so Radioactive. Would you like to add to this, sir?
The AI is fully hallucinating at this point. By the way, guys,
it is.
Oh yeah, I love the little conspiratorial ley line stuff. You know, they're at the 33rd parallel, by the way, in the galaxy. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yes,
that's so fucking true. I mean, they did throw in like 4 copies of like Archival Life magazine and like 3 copies of like GQ.
Yeah, they have that in there. They definitely went with National Galactic.
I'm still thinking that Kurtzman is a former metrosexual who became a heteroflexible whenever I see another one of these episodes. But JT, please continue.
Sure. So after we find these ley lines, they just know they have to take it to go from point A to point B. Why they ever needed to explain this at all is completely useless and pointless, has nothing to do with anything. But we have to figure out how we're going to do this. So what we actually have to get, because we're not quite there yet, is a whole stupid setup where they're talking about a fight between good and evil, which we never know how or why they start thinking this way. But basically, Captain Flabby Arms is the epitome of everything that's good in the universe. and she got a DNA memory on how to fight evil by getting Gorny and having a chest burster in her, and also by sleeping around so much that she's had all the DNA in the galaxy deposited. I mean, she's met so many species. She's had all the DNA and deposited in her, to the point where she's perfect. She is perfect, and she is the bestest ever. And she'll fight
it was
evil.
ridiculous. She's basically she's mixed with her and the Gorn's DNA are now like intertwined or something like that. And then like for some reason encountering the douchebag who set himself on fire and blew his eyes out. That
glowy eyes.
encountering
She gets glowy eyes.
She gets glowy eyes too. Yeah, they actually, where No Man Has Gone Before was thrown in there as well. I mean, honestly, I don't know if like they like Wikipedia articles stubs and like pasted them together wrong, just like boom.
So what ends up coming of this is she has to fight Diverse Nurse because he is of the race of evil. Not that they just,
which is hilarious because Reverse Nurse is of course black. Diverse Nurse is of course black.
Well, yes, so it's going to be a white woman against a black man in the final battle.
And by the way, when Mabanga jumps out to fight, guys, what does he pull out? This is Star Trek, right? What does Mabanga pull out? Does he pull out a phaser? Does he pull out a favor? Yeah, he put phaser. No, he pulls out a shiv. He pulls out like a jailhouse shiv. Yeah, he's got a freaking switchblade or something. It was fucking hilarious. So folks, like inept.
Folks,
hey,
the level of stupidity in this is the race that they're fighting doesn't represent evil, or they didn't become evil. No, they are literally evil. Oh, registered trademark TM. There was no evil in the world until they existed, which is the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, maybe they're the core of
stupidest thing.
They're not just bad guys; they're the worstest of bad guys. But by the way, I just want to I want to thank Radioactive for their generous $5 United States dollars to chat again. If only the ladies on the show had done an away mission to Planet Fitness 4. Even Blink would be satisfactory at this point. Yeah,
as a religious ritual on Planet Fitness 4.
That's how we got Christine on the treadmill. We put everyone held a piece of pizza on a hockey stick and a piece of fishing line in front of her, and she was like, poor Jess Bush. You could tell when she's doubled in this episode because the double has a slightly better body.
Yeah. So, folks, at this point, we've had at least 8 minutes of them reading the script. It's just telling you what they know because the script told them, and where they have to go and what they have to do because the script told them. This is the level of conviction. You ready? Mm-hmm. We're going to the planet. That's right. We're going to the planet. Why? Because the planet's there. Well, it's there because it isn't. Let's go. Like, that's the kind of dialogue we're getting. I'm being serious. Yes. Like the three of us on this panel could voice act what we saw there. It was. I don't think they used ChatGPT. I don't think they used ChatGPT, and here's why. They definitely dumped the cage in there. The cage was liberally sprinkled throughout this in weird, unrelated to the rest of the plot ways. But no, the Admiral Teag AI novel was written by ChatGPT, and it's a lot better than this. Believe me. They might have used an earlier version because the script was written a couple years ago, so it was an earlier. It was an earlier Skynet. But anyway, thank you so much, Radioactive. Yes. So, folks, not to belabor this too much, but it's all a bunch of malarkey, and it's all a bunch of bullshit, and it's unearned to just get us to the final battle. So in order to do this, they literally just read the script, and then we learn everything we need. So, okay, the white woman has to fight the black man after going through the portal, and that's going to be the whole episode. So that way good can triumph over evil, even though they can't define evil or anything like that. So how are we going to get the sphincter open on the rhombus again? Well, we have to have enough power to open it. You got to lift the tip of your finger, and alcohol is helpful. By the way, welcome to the show. Stop, George. Good to see you. And I said hello to Mark, but let me say hello to Mark again.
keep going and welcome everybody. Hit that like and follow. I love Stop George's I don't know, but something went wrong. It's like he powdered toast man. Obviously he's back in the toaster, but it's just like he's also like been phantom zoned, right? He's like, it's great. I love that avatar.
So how are we going to get this thing open again so we can send a rescue team where the rescue team failed the first time? Well, in order to do that, the gateway needs a lot of power to override the lock. And so the only thing powerful enough is to shoot our phaser directly at it. Now, I mean, atmospheric diffusion is a thing.
That would take more power than I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit.
Look at my note in the private chat.
Exactly.
Look at my note in the private chat.
Would you like to read it?
See that number?
You may share with all.
15 gigawatts.
Okay. Now, that number is actually going to be like 1.2 times 10 to the 19 watts of power. That was supposed to be the power output of the Enterprise D, which is of course bogus anyway. But that's a side thing. Assume that number is correct. This ship is 100 years earlier, and it now has a factor of 1 billion more power capability than
no Bluetooth,
Then the
it can't sync Wi-Fi with
Bluetooth. Yeah, no Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi interconnect.
This is less able to interconnect than 2 iPhones in the same room.
It's important for us to put these numbers into perspective.
Yes.
So they claim that a starship can now generate only 50% of the total energy output of a star the size of our sun.
Let that sink in, folks. One phaser bank can put out half the energy of our sun. And if that were true, what kind of shielding do you need on this? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, let's also point out the flaw in the dialogue, because this is the part that really got me. See, this is where I sink my teeth into this. Okay. This is how bad the technobabble is. So then they say, well, the power output between 2 starships is not additive. It's only complementary. Do you effing retards not know what complementary means?
In the group chat.
Additive.
Yeah, in the group chat in X, all of us were outraged by that. Yeah, no, we didn't miss that. You don't have to be a math genius to understand that was a distinction without a difference.
You just need a damn dictionary.
Yeah, and then Spock, who's supposed to be the premier, well, we know real Spock is. This is soy
level
Spock.
10 intellect, right?
Yeah, in this case, he's more like the level log minus 10 intellect.
This year, Ethan Peck must have flexed his pedigree. He has not embarrassed himself anywhere near as much as he did last year. Mark Harkness says half the energy of the sun. Who'd fear a doomsday machine? I know. If this ship is so much more powerful than the Xindi probe.
This would have cut the doomsday machine in like little slices. It would have been like the Ginsu,
a tomato slicer. It would have tomato.
Only J.D. Vance could command a ship powerful enough to bring them to bay, which as we saw in episode 6.
Yeah, this is the Ginsu class starship. Here's the thing. I got to pick apart this whole scene. This is where it really rubbed me the wrong way. So Spock says, well, we need to understand Soy Scotty, he goes and says something about, well, what if we put 2 nuclear batteries? And then Spock says, well, if the valence is correct, valence is a chemical term, Spock. It has nothing to do with effing energy. And by the way, then Spock rattles off a bunch of different energy types. It's like, Spock, you retard. Do you not know there's only the strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetism, and gravity? Get your shit straight.
It was just a whole panoply of
technobabble. They just put it up on this bingo card, and maybe they just had Grok or something do it.
I think it was AI.
It was not as good as Grok, and it was not paid It was not as good as Grok or ChatGPT. They found does Blue Sky have AI?
No,
this is horrible.
2 years ago, it was really bad 2 years ago. So if you used it back then, this is the kind of shit that you would get. So, folks,
it gave you enough to jump in and maybe edit it, but let's fast forward on this.
Yeah. Let's keep moving. So they figure out that the Farragut with
I already actually did the entire chain of events at the top of the show in less than 4 minutes. But go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So Commander Jimmy over there on the Farragut says, "Okay, well,
okay, of course you would have to say the next words out of your mouth." The next words out of your mouth would have to make me have to say something. Commander Jim pissed me off so bad when it's like we got Major Tom, we got General Chaos, and now we got Commander Jim. Where once we had Captain James Tiberius Kirk, we got Commander Jim. It was fucking weird.
It was weird. Weird. Anyway, so what they're going to do is they're going to combine both lasers or phasers or whatever the fuck they want to call it now.
Phasers.
And they're going to shoot at this little thing the size of a doorway from out in space with their phasers. But they say they have to shoot them both at exactly the same time or it won't work and you'll blow up the whole planet. And so instead of writing like a script on a computer, intro to computer science, to synchronize the ships together and synchronize the firing patterns, they say, oh, a computer can't possibly do this. The only way we can do this is if Spock and Kirk have a mind meld, and they have instant and active telepathy with each other. There's not even a millisecond of delay between the two of them, and they
don't share their minds. They get massive. Yeah. They don't just share thoughts and consciousness. Each one, I guess it seems like it's implied that it's only one way to Spock. Spock gets a massive upload of Kirk's life.
Yeah, they copy pasted his brain. Which is not how mind melds work.
Yeah, no, it's not how mind. It also doesn't keep you synced up. You can't. That doesn't. They're in different ships. They're not even touching. It was so stupid.
Yeah, so they have like a cross space mental connection with each other that's instantaneous with no lag. And so because they can't even be 1 millisecond off, according to them, on when they fire these phasers, they can't trust a computer, which could easily do that. They have to have two biological.
This is something we could do now. We've seen drone shows in other countries where they have like drones with high HD TVs on them flying over the stadium at night. Yeah, so we've seen that
in perfect synchronization. Yes,
right. But they can't do it. They need to mind meld and use magic.
Teag, they could take intro to computer science at Starfleet Academy and know how to fucking program both ships to fire at the same time.
This is
it's not that hard.
Is like reverse of the future, guys. This is like a really bad reactive. Like their tech level is below ours in so many episodes. By the way, I want to say hi to Trucker Martin. Welcome, Martin. Good to see you. Welcome to the show.
So they open up the portal, and instead of sending a security team or a bunch of red shirts, they send the captain and the other captain. In Captain Pike does not wear his bitch boy armor suit. He just walks.
He finally has taken off his riot gear from episode 1. What a great leader. His crew is in their uniforms and he's wearing riot gear and strapping on his own bridge. And hey, radioactive.
Admiral, radioactive.
Yes, sir.
If you're going into a conflict zone to fight someone, do you think you'd bring a phaser?
Well, in a mostly peaceful protest, maybe not, but in an actual real fight.
So
I want to read this chat.
They go through the
right
portal
on the
without a phaser.
Lighter with them, maybe.
Radioactive read my mind with the chat. Shooting a portal only 2 meters wide? That's impossible, even for a computer. Spork. I used to shoot sea-lots back home. They're not much bigger than 2 meters. His dialogue was terrible, but either his agent flipped out or this AI preserve Spock's dignity this season, because Spock was like removed from most of the humiliation for most of this season. He was never too stupid this year. And last year we just saw dumb stuff. And hey, beaming to the bridge right now, we have yet another member of our saving Star Trek family has made it to the show. Let me just, I got contact with the planet below. I think the Iron Storm has cleared over Texas. Let's get him to the bridge. You know him, you love him, Sean Carter. Welcome, Carter.
Sean Carter of Mars.
Welcome to the SNW show, Sean.
Yeah, sorry.
Work
was a little longer than I hoped.
Are you around Houston 6 or Austin? Are you on Austin City 3 or Houston 6?
Neither.
Oh, really? Dallas
9. He's where Landman is in that imaginable part of Carolina, Texas.
I'm on the Waco 1.
Oh, Waco Prime.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So anyway,
now that we're fully demonetized.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a real place.
What? Guys, this is kind of how the Landman show is probably going to go. Is we'll probably all be getting here at different times. It'll probably go from 10 to 12. But I recapped this whole thing in like 4 minutes. JT is doing the recap, and we're just kind of adding a little color commentary as we go along. He's on the play-by-play. So, Sean, welcome, and I'm glad you're here. I hope you had a good day.
It was better than yesterday.
Yeah, everybody was. Let's not talk about that one.
Oh no, I know.
Maybe at the very end of the show, if anything.
No, just doing okay considering. And hail to the chat. I see Stark of Iron says hi, Buddy Hepburn.
We got Stop George. We got Mark Harkness.
Yeah.
We got Mr. House Party 6. We got Martin. We got Stop George. Did I say? We got a bunch of folks at that. Wallace Lang. It's a great party. The Trek reviewers here, and we're talking about the end of this episode of SNW. So with no further ado, JT, you're about 45% of the way through the episode because you're giving it way too much credit for what it's worth.
This will go way faster.
It's true. Actually, the jumble of non-action. Sean, this episode, just real quick before he goes forward, I said they fed the scripts into an older JT figured it out. It's a 2-year-old ChatGPT probably.
Yep.
They fed the scripts for Wolf in the Fold. What do you call it? The Cage, because they had nothing else for Pike. I think the Alternative Factor and Guardian on the Edge of Forever and the Cloudminders into this Chat GPT and said make a story out of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Any other episodes? There might have been something else in it.
And the Event Horizon.
That was their live editing. That was them editing it. That was the only part of the prompt that was well written. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so folks, once Pike and his boss, Captain Flabby Arms, go through the portal, they encounter Diverse Nurse shooting dark energies at a stone statue.
We call Gamble is his name. We don't get his name till after he dies. So I didn't realize they even said his name. They say it once. I call him Diverse Male Nurse or Diverse Nurse.
Yeah.
Okay. Why not? Okay, because the other nurse is a blonde white lady, so she's colonizer nurse, right?
Yeah.
Ava Braun nurse.
So Diverse Nurse is shooting dark energy at a stone statue of some ugly modern art, and that hurts Captain Flabby Arms because they're connected through the power of love. And so then,
the power of love is a curious
angry.
thing. It makes one man cry, makes another man sing. That's the power of love.
Turns your heart to a little white dove too.
Don't take money. Don't take fame. And don't take no credit card to ride this train. It's anything but this episode. Keep going, JT.
All right. So then what happens next is Pike becomes angry.
I hate all these people.
That Diverse Nurse is throwing weird dark energy at his woman, even though they haven't put a ring on it. And then then he's like, "Oh, your puppet, your pet, I'll take care of him." So he shoots his dark energies out at Pike, and his boss, Captain Flabby Arms, is like, "Silly wabbit, Twix are for kids. You can't hurt him." He's like, "I know." Okay, folks, the fight stops here. For the next 12 minutes of this episode, Captain Pike goes into the Nexus. And then he lives out his fantasy, his fantasy marriage in life to his boss, Captain Flabby Arms, where he contemplates taking her name as a last name.
Yeah.
They only have one child.
It wasn't even presented as a joke. And by the way, anytime anything positive is ever said, it's like, learned it from my mom. My sister taught me. A wise woman taught me that. That is just like every time it is like so predictable. That was also their editing. No AI would be that like cucked.
So he's going through all the phases of his life, and at one point he has his daughter, in 4th grade or something age, and they're sitting on the couch at Christmas time with their puppy, and he's like, I just got stationed to that training ship for a 3-month tour, and that this is supposed to be when he gets irradiated.
Wait, wasn't it supposed to be 3 hours?
Well,
yes, it was a 3-hour tour. Yes.
So then he's scared. Oh, sorry about that, folks. He is scared because he's like, well, this is the mission where I'm gonna not come back from it, right? I'm gonna be all messed up. Instead of being a captain, a trained professional, he starts just crying in front of his family, sobbing in front of his family. So then I got to thinking, and I was like channeling my Marlon Brando, and I really wanted to get into the TV and give him a little love tap and say, how about you act like a man? That's personally what I wanted to do, because it was that fucking pathetic, folks. It was that pathetic. So then it goes forward. His daughter.
Wait, I got to chime in here. This dream sequence that JT is describing for you and everything he said, absolutely right on the money. But the only way to describe it is, it's a horrible life. That would be what the segment would be called. It's like, George did jump off that bridge. It's like in this version of the movie, like it's like, no, your brother let every man in that transport die. He's the coward of Normandy. What are you talking about, George?
12 minutes of this shit, and then they jump forward again.
And terrible.
His daughter comes home.
American stuff in there,
and this is his dream. His dream is that his fully grown daughter gets engaged.
That we've never met till now. It's what day players. Look who's coming to dinner, a black guy.
He was a total and complete loser. So his dream.
He was also black, but he was a loser. But the thing is, if you have, like, they say little girls marry their father. So that I thought was cinema, like verite. Like that was the height. Alex Kurtzman's very greatest storytelling achievement was that the husband or boyfriend of the daughter was like just as unworthy as Pike, but since he was black, it was okay. I don't know how to explain it. It was so weird.
This was Pike's dream, which was just weird. And then the next scene, because nothing else happens after
I've said this
married,
before.
nothing in life happens until you die. And then they had him on his deathbed.
I've said this before. I've said it again. It's like, these people's idea of inclusion is so weird and messed up that it actually makes them come off like neo-segregationists. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
Honestly, their inclusion is, their idea of inclusion is insane. It is insane.
Did you catch the fact that the brother that their daughter was marrying was going to be Soy April's son?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was Soy April's son, Admiral April. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the Soyverse versus in the real Star Trek universe, April was on board the ship in TAS. I forget the name of the episode, but you know which one.
Counterclock Syndrome.
That's the one. Yep. So yeah. Just a little clarification.
So I don't know if this was a dream or a nightmare for your average person, but there you have it. So after this 12-minute diversion into the Nexus, we pop out of it. Oh, and also everybody keeps knocking on the door because they don't have a fucking doorbell, and they just don't go and answer the door in any hurry. Like people will knock 7 or 8 times.
Well, that was their symbolic thing, trying to say that reality's knocking.
It was fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It was not done eloquently. I know, Sean, that was supposed to be artistic. It was terrible. So anyway, after they break out of the Nexus scene, you have Captain Flabby Arms saying, I am the biggest Karen of all time. I'm the bestest ever. And Kurtzman doesn't know that I need to rise from the dead, but he made me a Christ figure anyway. So I'm going to save the entire universe with my sacrifice. And she seals evil and back into hell for all time. And I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to get too religious into that, but she was totally turned into a Christ figure and sacrificed herself and stopped evil.
Yeah, words like kooky come to mind.
Yeah. So okay, so after that, episode should have been over. Roll credits, but no.
There's more.
We get a 4 to 5 minute sequence of what I would like to call Grey's Anatomy panning around, looking at everybody's unearned tears on each other's shoulders for the loss of Captain Flabby Arms. And folks, the music they play is not Star Trek music. They play Wait by M83. If you don't know who they are,
it was terrible. It was I looked it up. The song is that who it is?
No, it's M83. But if you don't know who M83 is, this was basically a Coldplay song.
Okay,
they played for 4 or 5 minutes.
If you don't know who Coldplay is, they'll ruin your marriage. And also, they basically almost every single Coldplay song sounds like the song "Unforgettable Fire" by U2. They're really, really not.
I actually heard they were going to go with the band M87.9.
That's anyway. Moving forward in the U-boat of this review, so as it's become now,
4 to 5 minutes of just slow panning with people crying and hugging is totally fucking unearned. You don't care. You're like, why is this going on for so long? Like, even Grey's Anatomy didn't push it this far. And that's exactly what it was. So then the final scene, hopefully ever for this show, ladies and gentlemen, it very well may be, because Skydance might get wise and cancel the next season from finishing filming.
I did hear Oscar Isaac's voice in my mind when it ended. I was like, last episode, maybe forever, from T. Ross, because that's kind of like where the other thing kind of came crashing to a rolling, burning stop too.
Yeah. So at this point, Pike, Anson Mount playing himself in Pike's costume, comes out on the bridge, and everybody's trying to coddle him and make him like they're infantilizing him big time. And then he's like, oh, I guess we should go somewhere and do something. Where do you guys want to go? And they're like, oh, we can go here and here and here. And he's like,
and they mentioned it was going to be a 5-year mission. So you know what they were setting up.
Yeah.
They set up the reboot and deconstruction of the original series.
Yep. And so they asked him, how fast would you like to go, Captain? And he said, oh, I don't know. As fast as you want to go, I guess.
And he slumped in his seat like FDR had better posture. His like shoulders are lurched forward. His head is down
on his face.
He was looking
over at the floor somewhere on the set.
In a pose of powerlessness, honestly.
Yeah, but you know what, guys? I think that's actually Anson Mount doing that. That wasn't acting. That's Anson Mount going, oh, F. I just found out about the clause in my contract. All right, okay, I'll play the scene.
We have been feeling like Anson Mount may have been like staging a one-man mutiny here, honestly.
Well, that's why I said up. Radioactive. I said it's Anson Mount playing himself in Pike's costume, and so they second star to the right, straight on till morning, off our fucking TV set. Thank God. So that's the end of it, folks. I've got all kinds of other things like in minute 52 and 30 seconds after they're done playing their stupid music, Pike says, "No one's ever really gone." And I sat there and I thought, where have I fucking heard this before? Oh, Ryan Johnson had that. Yeah.
Anyway,
JT,
this was garbage.
I may have missed it. You might have probably already talked about, but you talked about the mind meld and how they were in perfect. That was so stupid.
Sean, Sean, I said anyone that's a first semester computer science student at Starfleet Academy could have scripted that out.
And, well, it was stupid anyway. They're like, we can use 2 phasers, and they go, well, they're not additive, but they are complementary, which means fucking nothing.
We torched them.
I love, but I had to embiggen you so people could see your subtitle. I used the ley lines with yo mama. The ley lines are like some sort of transwarp conduit substitutes so that, like, this was so stupid. In episode 5, Through the Lens of Time, I think it is, where Corby finds this weird structure, they let loose this weird energy demon that takes control of Diverse Nurse. Diverse Nurse becomes like an Event Horizon like killing machine, and then, like, rather than stun him, they kill Diverse Nurse, and the thing leaves his body, and they catch it. They literally just catch it by slamming the lid on the container it came out of. They put the genie back in a bottle, and then they throw it at the transporter, and someone's just there to hit, like, energize. They get rid of it.
From Ghostbusters. It was,
and at the end of that's how we ended that episode. And Diverse Male Nurse is dead. So in this episode, 4 episodes later, we go to episode 10, and we have these people saying, like, oh, well, you know, here on Vadia 9, where we lost Diverse Nurse, it's, you know, it's really far away from the other planet with all the problems. So like, we'll be fine. We'll be safe there. It was like we barely grazed 3 planets in this whole show, but we got to 1 in this final episode. It's
radioactive. I've got a question for you. These ley lines, right? Theoretically, anyone could use them, and they went between all the planets that we know about.
I use them all the time.
I was going to say, like, I suppose. I mean, given the way they set up the episode, I suppose anyone. So, if you basically had your space AT&T calling card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you would technically you'd be charged a little bit. I forget what the charge rate is. It's
I'll travel collect. Like why not?
Yeah, I think it's like it used to be about 100 quatlus, but you know, it's like,
quatlus. We already talked about that ever since I took the quatlu off the Latinum standard. But you know what? Here's the problem. In the imagined future, like, that is like,
you know,
the imagined future is one of like 7 plot points, but isn't it, guys, is it me, or is the imagined future about 40% of the runtime?
It seemed that way.
It's 12 minutes.
It was
of this 50-minute episode that had it was allegedly 55 minutes, but 2.5 of it is a recap of the whole season. And Scotty's walking around in a kilt. They show that over and over. They can't get past that.
It's actually a quarter. If you take out the runtime of the intro, it's over a quarter.
It's a big chunk, like Pike's imagined future. It's also, here's the thing, it's boring as shit. And in their house in the future, they have a light bulb with a circuit breaker on. They have a light switch with a circuit breaker on it, just like JT's house, my house, Sean's house, and Radioactive's house.
Well,
they have the same
weird is the fact
outlets as you.
Did you notice they were in a house in I think Ontario too? It was a north. It was a north.
It looked like it was probably like their place in Vancouver that was like where they film, or maybe it was California. Who knows?
It could have been. All right, it could have been.
You know what I mean? An older part of Vancouver, though, with some more classic architecture.
It's got that kind of neo-colonial.
The thing about this Radioactive. So I remember, in another Kurtzman property that this is.
JT, you fuzzed out right there. Another Kurtzman project
another Kurtzman project that this was spun off of, where they so ruined their writing they had to go 700 years into the future, and warp travel had been ruined by a temper tantrum, and they had spent over 100 years trying to figure out how to travel faster than light. And they knew about these ley lines for like what, half a millennia.
I have a quick question
no one
for
could
our
figure
audience.
out how to use them
Is
radioactive.
everyone?
No one.
Did everyone just have a browser crash? Because I saw a
No.
real weird spike. No, like a real weird dip. Like we went like our views halved and then returned. It was really weird.
That might be on the YouTube side. It could be one of their
That's
server
the
farms.
YouTube side.
Yeah.
I think if you guys return, if you're just back from a browser crash, don't worry about it. There are no commercials in this live stream. I never trigger them. If there are, they're from YouTube. And if you're here, like just really quick, if you come through later, if there are commercials, last night YouTube would not give me control of placing the commercials in the stream. It held me off until today. And then today, when I went to do it, it was like started really deep scrubbing into my live stream. And I'm like, maybe this one could just be demonetized. So yesterday's stream is like, I don't know what's going on. I think it has a lot to do with what happened yesterday and what the anniversary is of today. So if you're hearing a lot of commercials on the rewind, I apologize. Come by later and I'll get rid of them. It's one commercial about 20 minutes in and then one an hour. That's the policy that I tried it when I can control it. Anything else is them. I don't do them live. No commercials live. So keep going, guys.
One thing I want to interject here, just quickly. I don't know if you guys recall this, but way back in the day, some people remember this. Roddenberry had originally pitched TNG to not use a starship at all, and they were going to use portals.
That was for TMP, I mean, yeah.
No. This was for TNG, the next generation. They were not going to have a starship. They were going to go through portals.
I heard he was thinking about it for phase 2 as well. So this is an idea that's
anyway, Kurtzman, it's not an original idea either, of course, but I just thought I'd point that out, that basically Kurtzman's he co-opts everything. He does not leave a single stone unturned that he can co-opt, subvert, and twist around. Just want to point that out.
Sure. So, guys, I had 3 favorite lines from this episode. Would you like to hear them?
Ooh, and then I'll give mine.
Favorite quotes. Okay. Coming in at number 3, I already shared. No one's ever really gone by Pike. Coming in at number 2, I have from Commodore 3-pack. I'm picking up what you're laying down, Spocko.
Oh, yeah. I had a problem with that.
Number 1, at 3 minutes and 5 seconds into the episode, little boy Pike says, "Yoga will take down the best of men." That was my favorite. I know it's stupid. It's stupid. You're like, that's your favorite? I'm like, well, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Yoga will take down the best of men.
I mean, it didn't even
was Sir Winston Churchill taken down by Yoga, Admiral Teague?
Winston Churchill was taken down by Yoga after World War II. Hitler couldn't get him, but Yoga did.
I thought it was Yogurt and a Schwartz.
Was Julius Caesar taken down by Yoga?
You know what? A lot of the guys who killed him, they were the guys who deleted Caesar. They were doing yoga before he came out there to get ready for it. So yeah, in a way,
taken down by Yoga.
I believe he was taken out by a literal pile of blazing saddles, if I'm not correct, right?
Well, here's another one for you. Was Patton taken down by Yoga?
No, he was taken down by an ox cart or something, like a car crash.
So, I don't think Yoga will take down the best of men.
No, but Yogurt can. Yogurt and a Schwartz. Just saying. Damn that!
I cannot figure out. Okay, Sean, you go with yours. Otherwise, I'm going to rant for 10 minutes.
And I tried to get a screenshot of it, but I can't. I couldn't. I'd have to get 2 phones. It was in the middle of the episode where there, and then when we get our review, I'll say, but there's a line that Pike says. He turns around and he goes, "This doesn't make any sense." And I was like, finally, they're self-aware.
Yeah.
He said, "This doesn't make any sense."
Like now you're complaining.
Yeah. That story was so convoluted. And I guess I'll just say, like,
What an attractive cast, huh, guys? Poor Christine, the person who cannot wear a catsuit is in the catsuit. That is, I'm going to call this mean to her. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't have it loaded. I could have. Can I finish, please?
I'm sorry.
Can I finish, please?
Yeah. The thing that I had to laugh at this because they're down on the planet stuck and they couldn't figure it out, and they start the way they figure this all out is they start with a hypothesis, and then they make about 15 assumptions to lead them to determine what exactly is going on.
Yeah, the magical thinking. They've only figured stuff out from magical thinking. The reason why that was like that, more than aside from the fact that Talentless is, the episode they're building it on and the Illyrian stuff that they're building it on was all changed every time they used it again. So there's nothing to it. All you need to know to enjoy this show is nothing, because watching it previously only makes it worse. In fact, the entire season was well represented in the previously on. That was comprehensive. If you watched that 2-minute previously on at the beginning of this episode, you didn't need to watch any of this season. You got everything, honestly. In 2 minutes. It proves it was a 2-minute story.
It was ridiculous. And throughout the whole thing, even all the way from beginning to end, the title of this episode has absolute fuck all to do with what we saw.
Yeah,
it's called New Life and New Civilizations. What?
It was about an ancient civilization.
So it's not new. And they didn't find any new life.
Yeah.
See, here's
they found an ancient evil spirit.
So all of these things are interconnected, right? They can speak each other's languages. Why did no one translate all of the writing in this temple? That was like the only thing that the people on this planet cared about. You think they would have gotten a universal translator from the Federation and said, hey, can we try out and translate some of your languages over the next 100 years?
I know what it said.
If we can figure it out.
I know what it said. It said, hup, 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 mach.
This is about when I killed.
Oh wait, sorry, I was just clearing my throat.
Guys, we have actual sound. This is what they're going for with Mabanga reading his life story off the obelisk too. It's like they're trying to do this.
Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun.
Honestly, but it didn't have that much. Like it was like unearned. There was no music to improve it. It was so sparse and bad. And depending upon like mediocre to bad actor Mabanga to try to like get this stuff across.
I wanted to just point this out. They said they were sending a covert tactical team down there. And there wasn't nothing covert about any of them. There was nothing covert about those people whatsoever.
This was not a good moment of lampshading. When we already knew what was going on, and you shouldn't have lampshaded it because it was so stupid. So acting like you could make an offhand remark to get rid of the stupid, when it's been like you have tried this lampshading technique multiple times already in this episode for other things, and you've tried it all. Like every single statement is lampshaded anyway. Like someone has to like rip back on everything anyone says.
So real quick, Radioactive. I've seen that jacket before. I had that jacket when I did PT in the Army.
This jacket was made of rubber.
It looks like the windbreaker that you do PT in the Army.
Oh, yeah. It kind of does. It does look like the Army variant.
Yes.
So they went to the Army Navy store. God knows. It's just amazing that they bought something from our Army. It's like, that's the Russian Army.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
well, it's actually like the Air Force one too, by the way, except the Air Force one was blue.
Hey, Wes Cagel's out there. Wes Cagel, hell, are you looking forward to next week when we become the Paramount people?
Here you go, Admiral.
21 votes, by the way. We've talked about the episode twice. Go ahead, JT. I'm listening.
I'll put it in the subspace message. There's a picture of it right there. So if you look at that picture,
his Army PT jacket.
Yes,
the gray one.
It's the windbreaker.
Yes, it's the windbreaker.
Yeah. You showed me a picture of two different people. One guy's wearing a gray windbreaker. That's the one.
It's the gray. Yeah. Yes, it's the gray windbreaker one.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can get that on screen. Here we go.
Well, it's I guess
Reddit thread. Here we go.
The old one now, right? But
yeah, it would be the old one because that dates back to what, the mid 2000s.
2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, that was those gym outfits were mandatory to buy.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Mandatory to buy and wear, because if you were doing PT and not in your PT uniform,
oh boy.
Oh yeah. So controversial.
You'd have to do a lot of PT if they caught you with that.
Oh yeah, a lot of PT anyways, because at least on my branch of the service, our PT was so effing shitty, and I told my colonel that I said, "Hey, I'm doing my own stuff after this," which I did.
Guys, I've got a quick thing I want to do before we move towards wrapping this up, and I think we got a good enough look at the Army uniform.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm just saying that's exactly what he was wearing on that thing that you
all indications are you're correct. But when they showed him from behind, they made like it was a leather jacket of some sort. But anyway, listen, let me, what are you doing in my seat? Anyway, listen, I want to go through this with you guys and just see what was the worst episode. Was it episode 1, Hegemony Part 2? Episode 2, Wedding Bell Blues with the Q and Trelane? Was it Memento Moron or Memento Mori? Sorry, episode 3, where they with the psychological thriller on the derelict ship, AI traps him in a memory loop, forcing Pike to relive all his failures. Which that's a long run of failure. Predictable plot and choppy editing was out of control in that one. A space adventure hour where we went after all the creators and original stars. Through the lens of time, the one where we find this fucking evil spirit we pay off in episode 10. We actually paid something off. It sucked, and everything was magic, including how it got from point A to point B and how it came back. And it contradicted its own first episode again. It contradicts the origin episode, but episode 6, the Salot Who Ate Its Tail, where we cuck Kirk. Episode 7, What is Starfleet? The Shaky Hand documentary. Episode 8, 4.5 Vulcans. Episode 9, Terrarium, which we talked about on our other show where we crossed the streams, and that led to a long and angry show. I'm sorry about the time management on the last Star Trek show. That was long and angry, gentlemen. Episode 9 in Terrarium, we talked about it. It was terrible. It was the cage and their Metron was right out of Rings of Power. They sucked, the Metrans. And then this week was New Life and New Civilizations. None of these titles, except maybe Terrarium, arguably had anything to do with any of the episodes. It sucked. Which was the worst one, guys? Mine is, I'm going to say episode 10, because the show got worse every week.
I can see why you would go with that.
Folks, JT,
tell us which one in the chat. Yeah. So the one that was probably the worst for me, which is just the one that made me the most angry. And this one, folks, I wanted to rip the monitor off my monitor stand right off the mount and like throw it through my window. Was probably episode 4, where they belligerently go after Gene Roddenberry and James T. Kirk.
It was really messed up, guys. It was wrong. I don't know how else to put it.
So I don't really want to relive that ever again. I don't want to watch it ever again. It was the worst single piece of entertainment this panel has ever been exposed to. It was as bad as Section 31, but like not as long. But we got the show kept getting worse after that. This season passed Section 31 and how horrible it was per minute in episode 3 or 4. And then every episode after that was actually somewhat worse than episode 31, than Section 31. This was somewhat worse. Yeah. And so I mean, after that, I was just like, I don't know who else is left to insult when you go for. I mean, it's like if you want to insult America and you go after George Washington, where else could you go from that?
They went after
I'm trying to recall
as the head of the vampire junk people. That was weird. 4 Vulcans and a baby. Yeah, 4.5 Vulcans. If they hadn't managed to dig down deep, it would have been hard for them to do worse than that. But 4.5 Vulcans was terrible. It was terrible. I'm with you on that one.
And Stop George agrees with me. Looks like
the holodeck episode was really, really bad.
Yeah,
but they hadn't even reached terminal velocity with that one. In my opinion, no one's wrong. You can make an argument that all these are the worst. Hi, James Caserta. It's good to see you. You can make an argument that all these are the worst episode because this was the worst season of entertainment. These are the worst 10 stories ever associated with Star Trek, including Section 31. These stories are as bad or worse. They're all tied or worse. This has never happened before. We have had writers insulated from consequences for years and years and years who have only gotten worse.
Yeah. Radioactive number 4, the holodeck episode, is the one where sweaty, effeminate Gene Roddenberry yells at stupid James T. Kirk, saying, you can't deliver lines or act. And then fake, stupid James T. Kirk told Gene Roddenberry, well, how about you write something worth acting? And I will. And
that was episode 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was the one where that they should have titled "Where is Carl Wixman, San Francisco?"
Yes,
I like to call it.
Yes,
it was deeply mean. That episode was deeply mean, but they got worse. They got worse after that episode.
If you want to look at my ranking, I was going to put that one at number 1, so I was almost in agreement with JT up until they did the next one with the shallot that ate its tail, which was the attack directly on the U.S. and
with the doomsday.
Yes, the modern geopolitical references, the deliberate attack, racial attack on certain ethnic groups.
Going after J.D. Vance.
Well, yeah,
going after Elon Musk. It was like post-election trauma day at the office, and the AI was programmed with like Newsweek.
The line that they showed in there, they had the line where number 1, played by Rebecca Butterhead Iceberg Lettuce, says something. Yeah, I remember as a kid they told us that these creatures
You're right, George.
ugliest creatures in the entire galaxy. Remember that
line? I'm with Stop George on this one, by the way. I am like strongly with Stop George. Guys, honestly, the real fight here is for number 2 in my mind. Like, I honestly think that by episode 10 it was the worst. The real dogfight for me is what's the second worst one, because it's hard to really judge.
Yeah. And Radioactive, I would
guys tell us your thoughts
as like a 1A or a basically number 2,
like
right
1A Destruct 1.
Yeah, like I'm watching Top Gun, and episode 4 is Maverick and episode 5 is Goose.
Guys, I just want to say about
flying in the same jet.
The question was, did Strange New Worlds get worse every week?
Yeah.
As a general,
yes, as a general rule, it was a downward spiral.
Some people might be able to say that some people might be able to say that there was a less worse outlier episode somewhere in there, and I would be willing to, entertain the possibility. But in general, my feeling is that the worst episode was the last episode, and the real dogfight is for the second worst episode. And to me, the second worst episode can only be the let's go after J.D. Vance, let's go after Elon Musk, let's pout over the election, the scavenger ship,
the Hate America ship.
Yeah,
the
Hate America. Yeah, don't say those words on this channel.
Sorry,
but not just because I don't like them, but because also like I think I don't want anyone to be able to. Yeah,
it's the mostly peaceful protest America episode.
The idea that these guys had like a patriotism enhancement ship where they became like space MAGA. Like we joke around on the Strange New Worlds on the Enterprise show that Trip is like Space Maga, but Trip, it's in good fun because like Trip packs. Trip like is a little bit like souping up his car. He's always talking about Florida. He's as bad as me with New York. So like it's in good fun. But with them, when they had Space JD Vance, like he was a dick in their dickish show. It was the only way to put it. And like he was king of the dick people. It was so strange. And like how they don't recognize their own tech and other shit like that. It was the worst episode. And the special effects were terrible. But by the way, in this episode, Carol Kane does say, "Did I ever tell you about the time I was stuck in a phone booth with a doctor?"
God. I didn't care because it didn't have anything to do with anything. You know,
it was one of her Kurtzman Babble Trek lines when she babbles. But I'm gonna at 23 votes. If anyone wants to get in on this, jump in now. If forever hold your peace, because I think I might let people have a few minutes to see whether or not they want it. Well, you know what? We'll make that another poll. Let's let this run for the rest of the show. I'm wrong to think that one. So, Sean, what do you think the worst episodes were?
I have to say that one with that fucking troll Patton Oswalt. It just, that guy infuriates me so much.
Oh, 4.5 Vulcans.
Yeah, that it was so.
That one was a close second to episode 10. That would be my other one. That would be my number 2, possibly.
10. The only thing that 10 bothered me about was it was just asinine and stupid. So maybe as far as the plot and the way the script was written is probably, yes, the worst. But the one that made me the most angry was the Patton Oswalt one, because that entire thing, they're playing those little plucky violin funny music the entire fucking time. And you have a Vulcan named Doug and his sister Sue.
And he has a fascination with humans, but he doesn't know what birthday parties are.
Yeah. This whole, I'm glad it's over, and I'm really looking forward to talking about the Landman.
I wonder, do we close this poll and ask the audience if they want us to be called? What do you think, guys? For the Landman panel, the patch, that's just lending ourselves to getting mocked. The Landman panel's a little bit boring, but Landman will be in there. What do we call the Landman panel? I just don't. I had a couple of ideas, but I mean, I just don't know. Anyone?
Land ho.
Okay, that's a good. That would be Allie Larder's role in the show. She's the land ho. 4.5 Vulcans was the worst. Let me know what you think. If you're listening later, tell me what you think is the worst. I want to know what the worst episode was from this season. I say it's 10 because these writers have gotten worse every episode, which makes me say that the first episode of Star Trek Academy will be the worst episode of Star Trek ever. They're just getting worse.
I'm going to say something very controversial. I actually think this one was the best of the worst. And the reason why is more, and here's why, because
sometimes recognizable Star Trek in a mangled form floated to the top.
Well, kind of that, but it's like what Sean was getting at. This wasn't really woke-tarded. It was just retarded.
Mm-hmm.
It was just retarded.
They've gone too far in a few places.
So in that sense, yeah, it actually kind of floats to the top.
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir.
Well, that's, you know what? I think the worst episode was the last episode, but they keep topping themselves. Radioactive is saying, everyone's got spirited debates on this one. We'll probably have to really have a gripe session backstage one of these days, because I got to be at work at 10 minutes ago for tomorrow. So at any rate, what do you closing out this? Here's the question is, these are the names I was thinking of. Which Ozzy singer's song should we name our new show after? Because after Landman, I intend to review the best shows on Paramount Plus. People talk about Disney all day. We can keep track of Paramount. They're the more exciting company right now because Disney's going to do the same old shit. Paramount's the great unknown. And if Paramount becomes boring, you know what? We'll just go back to covering Disney like everyone else. Hey, guys, did you hear the park was empty in August? Did anyone know about that well-guarded secret?
Okay, so
Sean, did you know the park was empty in August, Sean?
I heard it about 4 times in the last week and a half.
Sean, do you know what the heat index is in Orlando in August?
Yeah. Someone asked me. Yeah, it's a lot like here in Central Texas. Someone
like
once
Riyadh,
asked me,
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so somebody once asked me, like, "What's the summers like there?" And I say, "Well, have you ever been cremated?"
Yeah.
And on that note,
no one goes outside in August in Florida. It's like how bad like January or February is in the north of the US, where you're like -10 at night and a bunch of snow, and you just don't leave the house and you just drink beer and eat chili.
I do. I drink beer in the corner with Shran. He's like, "Hello, pink skin," and it's like I'm cool with it. But like when like other people walk by, like the Latino people walk by, it's like, "Hello, butter skin," and it's like, "Whoa, Shran!" Like dial it back. Hello, Canelo.
We never did figure out what he called Pride Weather.
Oshi and Pride Weather.
Yeah, we never did find that out.
I think the best explanation is he feels like that Archer just keeps giving him the Endorian ale, and that's what happens to humans when they try to drink it.
Right. But folks, coming up on the Landman in the future, you'll see a totally different side of us because it's actually good TV. We love ourselves some good TV. You won't be hearing me signing on having to bitch every single week about something. Which might be fun for you. You know, we love to have you where I do that, but you know, we don't hate life at all. We just
anymore.
So, well, with Landman, how could you hate anything for too long, if you know what I mean?
This is traditionally a really terrible day, so it was already fucked. So to have this show end on this day actually took the sting out of it just a little bit, not to trivialize what happened, but I was looking forward to this show being over, and I am really glad it is. I'm going to end the poll after I finish reading the results, so you have till then to do it. So let's see how people think about the other question. Did Strange New Worlds get worse every week? Wes Cagle says, call it Supernaut. That's a thought. Did Strange New Worlds get worse every week? Yes, 83%. No, 4%. And 12% of you. Oh, we got another vote. 83%, 4% no. Almost it's overwhelming and authoritative. The motion is carried. This show got worse every single week. So say we all.
So say we all.
So say we all.
Yeah, you know what? You can argue that some episodes were worse than others, but to be quite honest with you, it would be a pretty futile argument. And honestly, you could defend any one of these episodes as the best or the worst. But you know what? I'm thinking from now on, like we're going to try to do like the better Paramount shows, and we'll only go back to the Damage Report name when we do Star Trek. It's the Star Trek Damage Report. It took a while to come up with it. Sci-Fi CSI was catchy, but you know what? Star Trek Damage Report is the best for this. So as observers of Paramount, I'm thinking, what do you think is a better name for the show? Over the Mountain or The Fans on the Silver Mountain?
For Landman?
Silver Mountain.
For the Paramount, well, I figure the Landman show has potential to end us up watching other Paramount shows, like perhaps Tulsa King or something like that comes back when Landman's out of season, because Kurtzman's done. And we won't always do Thursdays, but if there's a Taylor show, if there's a good Paramount Plus show, you know, since we're like, I think the best idea we could do is position this channel to observe Paramount the way a lot of everyone else, and I mean everyone else, observes Disney, because it at least gives us our own angle. And we usually come on later when people have heard the same Disney story all day. So usually what I'll do is give my take on the Disney story. And yesterday we spent most of the show like giving one statistic after another. Like, for instance, did you know that Disneyland only makes 3.7 to 3.9% of its annual income, Disney World rather, in August every year? Think about that. It doesn't make it. So of course that goes back to 1970, Sean. And it's also the lowest month of tourism in Florida. The only time there's a lower month of tourism than August in Florida is when August starts on a Tuesday, loses a weekend, and February has a leap year and gets more days. That's the only time it's not the 12th. And so it's always the worst month of the year. So all I say to this is, So all the keen Disney observers out there, how did you miss this when Admiral Teag figured it out in a couple of hours by looking at the Florida Board of Tourism's published and available numbers and looking at the Disneyland numbers? They're up. Disneyland is up. And then when we were like arguing,
are they up with dollars or
they're up with attendance? They're up in attendance like 0.2%. It's still not great. It's still within their 3.7 to 3.9% of the year Overton window. They're hitting about 3. They might hit 4%. This might be a rare 4% year.
You know, right?
That's what we're talking.
You know why?
The months didn't start on a Tuesday.
It just happened to be that Disney just hasn't priced themselves out of the market the way Las Vegas did. So families are saying, okay, we could go to Vegas and have fun, or we can go the cheap route and go to crappy Disney.
So that's true. And also New York is going to have a casino. So this is not going to be the name of the show, but the name of the panel. This will be the Landman panel. So what do you think? It's Paramount focused. So the Landman Paramount panel. Let me just fix that one. Well, I'll find a way to get some mistakes and misspellings in here.
Roughneck reviewers for the Landman.
Well, I was thinking Paramount Focus, but these don't necessarily have to be the name. But these are the two. These are the two names I've come up with so far that I like, and we'll let people vote on them now for a couple of minutes before we wind down for this week, and like look forward to what's going to be an amazing. And you have to commit on this one, so go ahead. The poll is live. And what do you think is a better name for the Landman Paramount panel? The Fans on the Silver Mountain, or should we call ourselves Over the Mountain? Two solo songs from former Black Sabbath singers. We'll see if people have a preference.
Well, Over the Mountain sounds a little bit
Wizard of Oz
somewhere over there. Yeah, I was gonna say like somewhere over the rainbow,
or maybe
or the nursery rhyme. The bear went over the mountain.
It's possible that fans on the Silver Mountain will be the name of our panel, and like Over the Mountain might be the name of a show where we round up Paramount. Because every once in a while, I want to take a look at the Paramount deal and stuff. It's been a more fast-moving story than Disney. Disney just does the same damn thing. Since Paramount changed hands, they've managed to make the overriding story of this season be that hey, don't worry, there's new, better Star Trek on the way.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope so. Good. Sorry, guys. I had a little problem managing Windows there. So anyway, I mean, that's it for Strange New Woke. Maybe there'll never be another episode again. I hope so. I don't know who else is with me on this one. We really embarrassed this poor actress, and by we, I mean not the panel, but the people who made this show. As you can see, every episode was worse than the one before. It really just carried the membership. No one was really on the fence about it. And the second worst episode, everyone kind of had their own and stood their ground on that one. The second worst episode was the worst episode. But to me, the most insulting moment came in episode 1 when Pike, he had Captain Patel's life was hanging in balance, and this show that does not have the gravitas to deal with something like HIV, that does not have the gravitas to deal with something like identity politics, whether we good or for bad, that does not have the gravitas to deal with political events, even though they do it every time, that does not have the gravitas for presidential politics, had Captain Pike say the universal prayer of all Christians, the Our Father, and then blow it off in the middle. Like, this show should never touch prayer. That insulted me, and my blood ran fucking hot. That was the single most insulting moment. So as we go around the horn to say goodbye to everybody in the panel, give us your most insulting moment. Ruminate on it for a moment. Let me see what the chat's up to. Oh, RTNZ made it. Sorry I can't join you today, but RIT, yes, RIP. No doubt debating the Almighty now. He would probably have a few opinions he would not be afraid to share. And the man may have been struck down, but now he's immortal. I guess we've come to the end of the show. We managed to get through it without, we stuck to pure entertainment, but you know what? RRTNZ well said. I don't think anyone here debates RIP Charlie Kirk. And hey, Stark of Iron, thank you. Wow, has gifted 5 Admiral memberships. Let's see who got those. The Dead Man received a membership. LDG's out there. He received a membership. Cam's Crash Courses. Welcome back to the family.
Hey,
Mike Damone. Hey, Damone, what's going on? Is it Damone or Damore? Is it Damone from it's so small. Welcome with us. And Shrubby1989, welcome back to the family. Ellison looks like an asswipe. You know what? I don't know. He looks like a rich guy to me. The only pictures I've seen of him, though, he did have the unfortunate crew neck sweater tied around the shoulders in a jaunty fashion, but maybe he was playing golf. I don't fucking know. He's really rich. He can't be an asshole. He can merely be eccentric, right? He's so rich and he's earned that title. But Stark of Iron bringing 5 members of the family. Thank you, Tony. It's really generous of you, bro. I owe you one. Thank you so much. You know what? Tony is around the dial. He is like hitting a milestone. What's the we got into the number before, and I'll go over to his channel now so I can recommend it and get you the link. But I want to thank everyone for being here. So JT, what are you up to this week, and what was the most insulting moment of the season for you?
The most insulting moment was the teardown of Gene and Kirk. Without going political on it, for me that was number one, with the anti-American being number 2, close behind.
The anti-American one bothered me. It was bad. I might fight for that being number 2 because it was like the Doomsday Machine. All right, Radioactive, worst moment, and you're number 2. Which one do you think was the second worst? Because the 10 wins by popular authority.
Okay.
And Stark, what was your least favorite if you saw this?
So worst moment. I may agree with you on the worst moment, although
just never stopped gaining momentum, did it?
Yeah. Well, that one
train wreck.
Yeah, that bothered me too, and I'm not Roman Catholic either, but that bothered me.
Well, isn't the Our Father universal all Christians?
Well,
yes,
it's the Nicene Creed. So yeah, I guess that's true. That is the Nicene Creed. Actually, I think it's also.
I think the Nicene Creed is I believe in one God, the Father, the Almighty, Creator of heaven and earth.
Oh, maybe it's
not the one. The Nicene Creed might be specifically Catholic because they say all the angels and saints.
Oh no,
the Lord's
Prayer. The Lutherans use pretty much the same thing as the Roman Catholic.
Okay. Yeah, the Roman Catholics
like
every
Roman
mass.
Catholic almost.
You know what? You got to get Fletcher back with all this Catholic talk. Remind me to get Fletcher back. But let's move on.
Second.
So your second worst.
I'm going to say second worst was at this point because I agreed with JT, but the thing was we saw that episode first, and then we got the next one, and that's why that one get to me because of the downward derivative. We were really. I'm going to have to put the one with the insults to Roddenberry and Kirk probably second. Okay. That was second. So for me and JT, we're just debating which one is first and second. I think that's it.
And Sean, did you say worst episode and worst moment?
The worst episode I did. That was the 4.5 Falcons.
Yeah. 4.5. That really was bad. Whew, but it got worse.
Worst moment. God, there's so many to choose from. I think the one probably the one I think that it got me so mad I couldn't finish the episode was the fucking holodeck. That pissed me off. But the Kirk and Roddenberry one, that thing was so awful. It's like it's its own category because it was so mean spirited. It's not.
It wasn't like, the worst.
I don't put it as worst.
It was shocking. You couldn't take your eyes off the screen. It was like at least held your attention, but it was terrible.
So I would say the most infuriating and most insulting is the Spock, the Kirk and Roddenberry or Shatner Roddenberry insult. But that was just mean spirited. It doesn't belong in a worst category because for me the worst is like what's the most stupid or cringe. I think it's the holodeck. It's so far out of canon. Second worst is probably when Ensign Whitewalls asks the Gorn what its fucking gender is. Male? Are you male?
You know what? Yeah, that was terrible. Terrarium was an awful episode.
Yeah,
it was the second worst episode because it was number 9.
That episode is Galileo Mine.
Yes, and you know what? This was a problem for the whole season, but that episode was the worst one. We had a lot of scenes here where people, if anyone's the least bit out of focus, they're doubled. Christine's double had a better body than her. There's a lot of times where she still looks terrible with the outfit. Yeah, you noticed that too. But she didn't suddenly have a good body because in the next scene she's dumpy again. Oh, no, yeah. Her face is always out of focus, or her back is turned when that happens.
Yeah,
she couldn't be bothered.
We did get one butt shot in this episode. We do have one rear end shot.
You talk about when we saw Laon's ass a little bit.
Yeah,
Connie has a nice ass. Connie's hot.
No. We saw Christine's butt in the sick bay. She turns around and walks away.
Oh, that wasn't her. Yeah, she was doubled though.
No, I don't think so, because she spun around and walked off in the scene. I'm like, oh.
I think they found a way to cut it because she's really got a fat ass. Well, maybe they. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they used a morph shot or something like that. I just don't know.
They could have, but I looked. I was like, okay.
Maybe okay. But sometimes, you know what? She's not unattractive. It's the outfit. So we say they film her badly. Maybe she was pretty enough to shine through once in a while.
Though I can't get over that. Platinum blonde hair and really dark eyebrows. It's like, just stop dyeing your.
Did they ask her to do it to be more porno-like? I don't get it. It tracks with Majel Barrett, though. I mean, Majel Barrett did have the dark eyebrows, but she had she had to have the blonde hair for the show to escape the ire of the network. So, I said my worst episode was 10. My worst moment was Pike praying. It made me fucking sick. I felt it was some kind of personal attack.
Before or after he said that good and evil were relative concepts?
I think it was after, but that was as sickening. Yeah, she does. She's the tallest, and you know what's weird? She's the tallest, and look at her. She's the widest. She's big and fat. And my YouTube browser just crashed on us,
she
guys.
Looks like a sheet of plywood.
The poor woman. JT, you said your worst episode, right? Did you say your worst moment?
Oh, yes, I did. Okay, yeah, I'm all caught
up. By the way, my worst episode is the garbage scavenger machine, the the garbage day device, the trash day device. The trash day device was the worst episode. It was absolutely a piece of fucking shit. And like I've enjoyed more watching the robotic arm of that garbage truck in like Pasadena fail to dump the recyclables into the truck the correct way and spill them all over the person's lawn, and enjoyed that more than this entire season. They still have not provided 2 minutes of real or good Star Trek, and it's been horrible. And on a serious personal note, as we close out the show, as all you guys know, I live in New York. I'm proud to be from New York. It's a tough day for New York. I appreciate everyone who's bore with me, and even the understanding of people who said that they understood if I wanted to opt out of the Xindi arc. I was right to listen to you. I had to look myself in the eye and say the Star Trek creators won't do it, someone has to. So I listened to the fans, and we were right. The Xindi arc, it's as weird as I thought. It's not as bad as we thought. It's fun, and it's led to great conversations every week. And here's to a stronger channel. Please keep hitting those like and follows. And if you come later, all the like and follows in the world will help. 30 is the goal. They won't let me have a non-financial goal, but 30 likes, please get to 30. And you've earned my imitation of the time travel weirdo from Enterprise. Here we go. Captain Archer. There's something about the future I need to tell you. Yeah, because that's all he is. It's way too shadowy. And I hope my greatest hope is that we get Trek United. So anyway, sleep well and prosper. It's time for us to get out of here, and we'll see you. I don't know if we'll be back absolutely next week, but we're chomping at the bit to talk Landman. So before we end, let's find out our final poll. Which one? We got 9 votes. You got a lot of action. Jump in there if you can. It is 50-50 fans on the Silver Mountain versus Over the Mountain. We'll find a way to use both. All right, guys. We love you all, and I think.
Oh wait, can we do a little plug real quick?
Sure. I'm sorry. People should do plugs. Bad. My bad. I'm sorry.
Bad host.
I was bad host on Friday when I went to 4 hours, but then again, we had a guest and stuff like
naughty
that.
Suit.
So anyway, no on United, James Caserta. I'm pro on it. I love Star Trek United, even if it never shows up as anything but a novel, just for drowning out Strange New Worlds. That was the story of the summer, not this show. So thank you, Star Trek. Trek United. Trek United forever. It's done good service for us during the darkest of hours. It gave us hope. Go ahead, guys. Do your pulse. Sorry.
Okay, I'll go real quick. So yeah, find me at the Sci-Fi Model Guy, where I haven't posted a video in 3 weeks. I'm working on a little enterprise model, and I do almost have all the parts I need to do. I'm going to do a USS Reliant for Tony, who's in the chat. He's going to get a primo Reliant model. So I'm just waiting on a couple aftermarket parts that I need to get, and I'll be doing that. So in the meantime, I started building the USS Voyager, and that's going really nice. I've had this kit in the garage for 2 years now.
How do you keep the bioneural gel packs healthy in that thing?
Yeah, it comes with some, yeah, and a life size 7 of 9 silicon remake.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's it. So yeah, Tony, you'll get your Reliant, and I don't know what JT, I'm still finishing your Enterprise.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
It's more or less done. Like, it's done, but I have to do there's some light leaks I got to fix up.
Sure. I can't.
And it's really hard to work when I got 2 jobs and a puppy.
Right?
Yeah. Man,
and a wife. Yeah, and a wife.
Fuck her.
Right, order of priority.
I'm just kidding. I love you, babe.
Guys, listen, JT, you want to give plugs for anything you're doing, Mark and Dadman stuff? What are they up to?
Well, let's see here. Tomorrow night I'll be on Late Night Fortnite with Mark D with a C at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then that means Saturday I'll be right back here at 10 p.m. for some Saving Star Trek. We're doing more Enterprise, aren't we, Admiral?
Azadi Prime and Azadi Prime alone, because Azadi, it is magical goodness. This is just an exciting episode. It's going to be a great discussion because we'll be like so far into the Xindi arc. Look for a comprehensive, maybe season-long discussion recap. It's going to be the stuff of legend this Saturday night. Like Patrick Stewart said, like Patrick Stewart listened to from a better actor in the movie Excalibur. If you'd fight for a cause, if you'd follow a king, ride with me now. Ride with us to the Enterprise review on Saturday night, and we'll see you all then. Till then, you've earned Sydney Sweeney. It's been a nightmare of Strange New Worlds. Tasha, how was it?
I'm only going to tell you this just once. It never happened.
Oof, you know what? She's right. And I think the only way I can really deal with this is I think I'm just going to take this USB stick with all the episodes of season 3, throw it on the floor, and just send that straight to hell. Fuck that stuff. So yeah, join Mark D with the C's channel, join Dadman's channel if you haven't. See my panelists there. And here she is. She is hot. She is gorgeous. Here she is dancing around in the video she made herself. But first, let's see a fan seduced to the Admiral Teag show. We have great incentives.
Shut up!
Here's someone actually falling for our propaganda.
That was so controversial. Sir.
Sir.
Can I finish, please?
Saving Star Trek is brought to you by the terrible stories of public hangout and the financial generosity of fans like Stark of Iron, Radioactive, and RRTN said, we love you all.